Pat was the first woman I ever really had love for. I liked a lot of people, but I never knew what love was because I never had love growing up. So Pat really taught me love. I became an electrician in the union in Chicago. And at that time I met my wife. I said, "Hey, you want to go to a movie tomorrow night?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock. Pick me up at 7. Years later, she told me the reason I had to get her at 7 was she had another date coming to get her at 8 o'clock. Years later, she told me that night she went home and told her mother that I met the guy I'm going to marry. Patricia and I really got along good, so we got married. She finally started coming down with Alzheimer's. So when I noticed things going downhill a little with just memory, what I'd gone through, as I said earlier, my mother had been sick. And as a youth, the few years I had with her and then all the years in the nursing home, I always said, I'd never have anybody go in a nursing home. Even when she had Alzheimer's, we went to Venice. We got on the cruise ship and went to Croatia, Turkey, Greece, flew over to Spain. And then we got on the cruise ship and sailed down to the island of Madeira off the coast of Africa and rode one of the little toboggan type things they had that go down the street, the hill, which was great. Then we sailed across the Atlantic. That was the last cruise we took, because then Pat started getting bad. I was doing her makeup and her hair and everything for her. The week before I put her in the hospital, I had her out for dinner twice. I'd have to control what she ate because knife and fork were getting harder to use. So I'd have a soup and fried shrimp ordered where she could eat with French fries with her fingers. But it kept her social world going, which really made a difference with her. I really cherish it because it was so beautiful. Pat would look at me and say, "Who are you?" And I'd say, "Well, honey, I'm your husband. We've been married for 60 years. She said, "Oh, I'm so happy to hear that." And then we'd go 2 weeks, everything would be fine. And then all of a sudden one day, "Well, who are you?" And people say to me, "Oh, Art, it's so wonderful what you're doing for Pat." I said, "Hey, I'm doing as much for me as I am for Pat. If I keep Pat happy, it keeps me happy." I sat with Pat and I talked with her about our life from the day we met till when she was laying in bed there. And you could see on her face, she comprehended what I was saying and all, and everything went well, very well. The world is a fantastic place, and no matter how hard things get for you at any given time, just remember that life is beautiful.